Hey, this is Ben with Bottomless Inkwell, and I am under the gun today. I don't have a whole lot of time, but I need to make some artwork. And I just put, oh, here we go. Misplaced my brush. And I don't have a lot of time. I got so many things to do today, but I am going to get some paint on this canvas. This is my friend Cindy, who was gracious enough to model for me, and I'm gonna work on this painting just a little bit today. So there we go. I was talking to this lovely Polish woman who may be related to me named Marta, and she was talking to me about making art, and I said, she was saying a typical thing that a lot of artists, especially young artists, they have this thing where they, I don't know exactly what it is, I don't know what it is in her case exactly, but for a lot of people they have trouble just getting started, that's kind of the thing. And when you talk to artists that have been working for a while, they'll tell you it's kind of work, and it's almost like it's disappointing. Like, art making is work. I don't want it to be work. I want it to be, a nonstop party or whatever. And art can be that. Art making can be that. But it can be work. It's going to be a little bit of work here and there too. And if you're serious about it, which I am. And when it's work, that's okay, I'm sure if you're not an artist, sometimes your work can be fun. And even when it's work, it's a little fun for me. So, but what I was telling Marta, my newfound Polish friend, was that sometimes you just gotta get paint on there. You just gotta put paint on the canvas or put pencil lead on the paper or whatever you're working with. And the ideas will come, the art making rhythm will find a way, just start making it. And get, as my art historian, mentor, and friend Larry Ball puts it, work with the sticky stuff, get the paint. Work some magic with the sticky stuff. Maybe he doesn't say magic. I don't think Larry doesn't strike me as a guy who would call it magic. But it does call it sticky stuff, and it is that. Oil paint is sticky stuff. I love it. I love the sticky stuff. I love this oil paint. So with Cindy here, I'm trying to work in some pastels because of her personality. She's got a lovely, gentle kind of personality, and that's what I think of with the pastel palette is, kind of a Georgia O'Keeffe gentle color palette. So, and this is turning a little bit darker than I'd like, probably, but it's not too bad. I can always work up the layers later and lighten it if I need to. There we go. And so yeah, I'm in this hurry, right? And I think that's another thing a lot of artists probably, or people that are thinking about making art, don't think about, but it's that sense of being compelled to make artwork. And even when you don't have the time, the space, and whatever else, if you're going to make it and it matters, you're going to make it. If you don't have the time, you will, as a new friend of mine, Becky, just said, for important things, for important people, you'll carve out the time. And that's what I'm doing here. So I wish I had more time to do certain other thing, but I've got the time I've got. I've just managed to carve out a little bit more time. So with that, I am going to work with what I've got. And a lot of times when you're kind of hurried or under the gun from life's wonderful obligations that we all get, you can get some amazing work done too. And I've surprised myself when I thought I was like, you don't want to rush these things. These things take time. You don't want to rush it. But sometimes you do. Sometimes you want to rush it. Sometimes you want to go headlong into the storm, What is it? How's that phrase? Out of the frying pan and into the fire. That's what you want. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of blending here. Yeah, so that's all right. And as I'm learning to work in front of the camera a little more, I'm realizing I need to get out of my own way every once in a while so the viewer doesn't just have to watch the tag on the back of my shirt. They can actually see the artwork. So I'm looking out for the viewer a little bit here and trying to get out of the way so you can actually see the artwork being made a little bit more. All right. So we're going to have a little bit of color and space added into there, a little bit of that environment. And then I know what I want to do, and it's going to require that to have a little more media. So it's cold today here in Wisconsin. Whoo, my fingers are cold. I tried to start a fire in the fireplace to warm it up, and it didn't take. And I have to leave, so the last thing I want to do is have a fire raging in the old Franklin stove as I'm about to leave. So I don't want to burn the place down. So I'm working in the cold, and what's interesting about that is most of my painting career I've used turpentine, which I love turpentine. Man, it smells. It has the aroma of art. Turpentine is art all on its own, a big can of art. But the thing about turpentine, though, is that it is very aromatic. And I haven't researched the health parts of it, but got a feeling it's not as bad as mineral spirits. Mineral spirits, whew, that's rough stuff. I would avoid it at all costs. That's a headache waiting to happen. If you're somebody vulnerable to headaches, I wouldn't even go there. Even the odorless stuff is sort of misleading. But times have changed, and I am not an acrylic guy. I know some people love acrylics. Not my thing, though. I don't like acrylics at all. They're okay in high school. Back when I was younger, it was fun to have make some acrylic attempts. But now I did finally switch media. I do occasionally still use some turpentine in a blend that I'll make. But I started using citrus, and I'd encourage other oil painters to try citrus solvent. It's available all over the place. You can even, if you're in a pinch, you can even buy it at a hardware store. They sell it as a cleaner. So you can use citrus cleaner, and it will act as a solvent. Now the one very minor downside to it, and that is that it will become a little more viscous than turpentine. If you're like me, a northern painter, you're going to be painting in the cold occasionally because you just can't avoid the cold in Wisconsin. It will find you. Even as the globe is heating up, as science has proven time and time again. It's still cold in Wisconsin, though. Still cold here now. It's only going to be getting colder. I know it. I got a feeling it's going to be a cold winter. So, yeah, that viscosity with the citrus solvent, it will pick up. I imagine if I were painting in below zero, which good God, I hope I'm not painting below zero, but if you're painting in the cold, the speed of the solvent is going to slow down. It's going to get more viscous than turpentine. So if you're going to find yourself painting in sub-zero temperatures, which why not, right? I've done it. I've done some paintings in very, very cold weather. You probably want to lean on turpentine in those circumstances because you'll get more action out of your solvent. Whereas the citrus, you're going to lose a lot of that. So, all right, working this through. Getting the paint on there. Yeah, so I listened to Greta Thunberg. Am I saying the name right? Thunberg. I think it's Thunberg. Greta, the famous environmentalist from Sweden. I listened to her. I can't believe it. I think it was the first time I really listened to her this morning. She was reiterating, why aren't people taking action? I've been doing this. I've been out here doing this for a while. And yeah, there's a lot of green scientists and green politicians, and they're still eating meat, and they're still flying around and burning combustion or fossil fuels. We need to be taking action. She's talking about how when she gets older, it's going to be, she lives to be 100. By the time she's halfway through that, by the time she's 50, it may be past the point of no return for our planet. Things may have heated up. We don't want to turn Earth into Venus. It's a real thing, and I listen to everybody's take on it. I listen to every side. I've listened to scientists on the industrial side of things, the business side of things, and I listen to scientists coming from a more neutral standpoint. And to me, the evidence is very clear. So, don't take my word for it. Get out there, listen to the scientists, see what they're saying about the environment and our planet, and, you'll find the facts are out there. This isn't something that they're making up because they're trying to sell gewgaws. This is the place we live, and it's, we're mucking up the works, Mother Earth cannot take everything from every combustion engine that we've got out there. We're burning up the planet for our kids and our grandkids, and we gotta figure out how to stop it. We gotta make these changes, and and this is, and I'm respectfully, I'm coming from the point of view that I understand business matters. I understand that there are good capitalists, there are bad capitalists, and that we need to set aside our philosophical and political differences. And, as my more religious friends say, get right with Jesus on this one, because we don't want to screw up the whole planet for our grandkids. Because we're going to be gone. They're going to be here with our mess. And so they're going to look back and they're going to see a record. I know you may not think so, but they're going to be sitting there looking at your Facebook page and go, look at it. Grandpa didn't even think this was a thing. And now the planet's burning up and we don't know what we're going to do with ourselves. And he was not even standing up for the fact that we should be trying to change our habits and change the way we are running the show, So I don't want to be one of those guys. I want to be in the group that was trying to make real change happen. So for the record, I am confident that global warming is really happening. The ice caps are melting, and currently we're in trouble because we haven't made the adjustments we need to make. And and the technology is here. You know, the future is now. It's not just with streaming, it's with everything. It's with how we get around and, you know, how we travel. Electric airplanes are a real thing. You know, companies are already investing in these things. Electric cars are a real thing. You know, if I remember correctly, American car makers, if you don't know this, they are already planning to stop making fossil fuel combustion engines. They're all planning to only make electric vehicles. If you didn't get the memo, that's how the show is changing. You know, I think a lot of times it offends a lot of these really cool mechanics. We got some cool dudes around here, especially the town of Jefferson nearby. Man, they love their combustion engines. It's a genuine love affair. And it's pretty cool, you know, that they got a whole history, personal and you know, local history with their engines and their racing and what they're doing, and that's great. It's super cool. I hope it goes on forever. I don't think that, I think some vehicles are always going to be around. You know, like it's almost as though it's a like a brew, you know, like some brews, even though they're not popular, alcoholic brews or, you know, that sort of thing, they may not be popular, but they're still going to make them in small quantities to sort of reminisce or to relive history with it or whatever. But we need to get healthier as a people, and the planet needs to be healthier. And so we need to end the lip service, you know, to make it a real thing. We need to take some proactive steps to make changes, to make real changes, so that our grandkids have, and their kids have, a planet left to live on. It's no joke. It's no joke. All right, let's take a peek here. Yeah, great. So my friend Cindy, with her lovely female figure, is now floating in an environment, and I will get to work on this again, but I feel good because I got some of the sticky stuff on canvas here, and it made it in such a way that it's taking it to the next step where I want it to go, which is good. All right. Awesome. Yeah. That's right. Oh. All right, cool. Yes. Yeah. Oh. A little bit of that guy in there. All right. Perfect. Well, not perfect. What's perfect, right? But imperfectly perfect. Wabi sabi, right? Okay. All right, I'll be back on this one another day. This is Ben with Bottomless Inkwell. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. If you want to make a comment, make a comment. Comment. I'm not that guy. I am not afraid of comments about my artwork. That's some other guy. Go ahead, make a comment. Say something. Tell me about your opinions about art in general, or art specifically, about my art. This painting or another painting or my philosophy. I'd love to hear some comments. I got a feeling some people don't because of you know, the taboo or other sensibilities or sensitivities that artists have about critiques or comments. Some of my friends have been with me for many years, and I feel bad for them sometimes, because when I was younger I was hypercritical. I was the guy. I had one guy tell me, he came into an art class I was in, he's like, this guy's in here. He's gonna say a bunch of stuff about my art. So yeah, I'm not that guy. Go ahead, lay it on me. Put a comment in there. If you haven't subscribed to the channel so you can see the artwork, you know, more as I'm working on it. And I'd love to hear your observations, your insights about artwork. or about my art. And I will promise that I can engage and I can take it all. I'm good with turning a phrase, and I'm not trying to brag, but I feel like I have a lot of insight on art making and specifically my art. But I'd love to hear your comments. So go ahead and say something. All right. I got other things I gotta do. I got a couple angelfish I gotta try and save and help some other people with some other things, whatnot. So I gotta get hopping with that. But this has been with Bottomless Inkwell, and thank you for taking time out of your day to check out my art making. Ciao. See you guys.